Good evening. My name is Fred Delp, and I'm the Executive Director of National Alliance on Mental Illness for Anne Arundel County, better known as NAMI AAC. On behalf of all of us at NAMI AAC, I wish to welcome you to our third annual Gala and Awards Night. For the past 2 years, we have had our Gala and Awards dinner at a hotel with over 200 guests enjoying a spectacular evening. However, this year, with the coronavirus pandemic, we've had to scale back and move ahead with something new, a virtual Gala and Awards Night. So this year we have made it a virtual happy hour with the title of Celebrating Healthy Moments. It's been a tough year with the coronavirus, and many families have had to cope with this along with many mental health issues in their families. People and families are struggling with mental health. So we wanted to look on the bright side and use the evening to celebrate some happy moments in our lives. Many of you have already sent into us special healthy and happy moments in pictures and videos, and others have sent in their testimonials as well, and how NAMI Anne Arundel County has helped them so much. For those of you that are unfamiliar with NAMI Anne Arundel County and what we do, a brief synopsis. We're a grassroots organization and one of over 1,200 affiliates nationwide. Our mission is that we are dedicated to improving the quality of lives of individuals with mental illness while also giving support to their parents, to their caregivers, and loved ones. We're a 501c3 nonprofit with a board of directors. We offer several education classes for both people with an illness and for those people supporting loved ones with an illness. All of these are free of charge. These include education courses, such as the Family to Family course, a peer-to-peer education course, and we offer monthly and weekly connection support groups for those with an illness and the family support groups for those that are caregivers. In addition, we offer many other courses and community events and presentations throughout the year. We also have a 24-hour helpline for any calls for information at any time that you may need. We're a membership organization, and you can join at any time by visiting our website at www.namiaac.org. There you will find a calendar of events and courses with the latest information. We reach hundreds and hundreds of people in Anne Arundel County each year. We have several partners which we work with, and you will hear more about them later this evening. So tonight, we invite you to join in for our Healthy Moments Gala and Awards. We have a wonderful program with a marvelous speaker who will speak on resilience. And later you will see several people honored by NAMI Anne Arundel County for awards they richly deserve. We thank you for your support and your encouragement throughout the year. And remember, you are not alone. We are here for you and your family. Thank you for joining us, and please support all our efforts for raising awareness of mental illness with our education programs and events. Now, next I'd like to introduce our board president, Donna Safko, who will provide you more detailed information about our partners and the events tonight.
Hello, everyone. Meeting the needs of the mental health community is not a job for only one organization. And so we at NAMI Anne Arundel partner with other agencies and organizations in our county. We want to take a minute to acknowledge some of them. We work closely with both our county hospitals, Anne Arundel Medical Center and the University of Maryland, Baltimore-Washington Medical Center. We are grateful for our partnerships with the Anne Arundel County Mental Health Agency, along with their CIT and crisis response programs. We also have relationships and partnerships with the 5 county behavioral agencies. These include Arundel Lodge, Omni House, People Encouraging People, Psychotherapeutic Services, and Vesta. We share events and email lists with several nonprofits, including Bo's Effort, Burgers and Bands, and Moms for Mental Health. Our partnership with other organizations in the county is important to us, but even more important is our relationship with our volunteers. All NAMI classes are free to the public, and our facilitators are all volunteers. We want to publicly thank each and every one of our facilitators that has given many hours of their time. If we had more volunteers, we could offer more support and education. Believe me, the need is great. Social isolation is adversely affecting those dealing with their mental health condition and those who have never before experienced such severe symptoms. Please consider clicking the I Want to Volunteer button. We need both family members and those who would like to share how they have overcome their mental health obstacles. If you don't have the time to volunteer at this time, please consider helping us with a monetary donation to help meet the mental health needs in Anne Arundel County. You can donate on the NAMIAAC.org website or on this Gala page and be entered into a raffle for a chance to win some wonderful gift cards donated by our friends at Beau's Effort. Now let's enjoy a slideshow of healthy moments sent in to us by many of our friends and volunteers.
And my healthy moment is getting in the outdoors and working in the garden. I really like to do gardening. As you can see, I'm holding a rake, raking up leaves here in the fall. Fall's my favorite time of the year. Getting out in the outdoors and doing a lot of gardening is my therapy.
Hello, my name is Donna Dell, and one of my healthy moments this time of the year is packing shoe boxes for Operation Christmas Child. This box will be filled with toys and treasures that will be shipped to children all over the world. And that, to me, is such a wonderful thing to be able to do.
Tonight, as part of our program, we have a special presentation for you. A great presentation on the talk of resilience. This is being done by Catherine Gray. Catherine Gray is the Clinical Director for the Anne Arundel County Mental Health Agency, where she provides oversight and supervision of the crisis response system and the agency's clinical services team. As an integral member of the leadership management team, she is responsible for entering the clinical standards, funding, and regulatory compliance requirements are met in service delivery to clients. She is trained in strategic family therapy, therapeutic crisis intervention, critical incident stress management, trauma-informed care, and resilience. Her topic tonight. Ms. Gray has worked in the mental health field for over 20 years and has extensive experience in clinical social work and crisis intervention. Ms. Gray received her master's degree in social work from the University of Maryland, Baltimore School of Social Work in 1996.
Good evening, and thanks for attending the 2020 NAMI Gala. To say these are unprecedented times is an understatement. The way we manage our daily lives, the way we communicate with people has changed so drastically. We're all experiencing stressors from COVID, from social unrest, from the loss of loved ones, loss of jobs, parents having to teach their children from home, and so much more. With all this change comes a lot of uncertainty. So what do we do? How do we manage that uncertainty? The thing that comes to mind for me is the word resilience. This is our innate capacity to bounce back from adversity. Resilience is a set of strength skills that we use to thrive. These skills can be developed and enhanced over time. Research has already shown us that the biggest predictor of resilience is having a support system in your life, that supportive, caring relationship. And we'll talk a lot about that tonight. I tend to think of resilience as two kinds of resilience. Resilience with a capital R, which is really the resilience from trauma. And then there's a resilience with a little r. And this is more of our everyday resilience, how we roll with the punches, how we adapt, how we change quickly when things don't go the way that we expect. But there are core concepts that are consistent between the capital R resilience and the lowercase r resilience. And those core concepts are starting with a sense of competency. So this is our determination, our persistence when we do things. Do we finish what we start? Are we self-motivated? Do we take initiative? Developing and enhancing and evaluating alternative solutions to something? Well, those all sound pretty great, but what does that actually look like? So in very young children, this can be trying to do things for yourself. So think about the mom who's trying to get out the door and the little one wants to tie their shoes, but they're really not that good at it. But it's important to let them do that, to start developing those skills of persistence. In older kids, this is that I can do this attitude. I got this. I know it's going to be challenging, but I'm going to fix it. And in adults, this is really that collaborative relationship in our professional and our personal lives. It's also that confidence to put our words into actions, meaning instead of just saying we're going to do something, we say we're going to do something, and then we actually do it. Another core concept of resilience is the caring and respect for others. And this really is our ability for empathy, for listening to others, respecting other people's opinions, even when they differ vastly from ours. So in young kids, this really looks like enjoying interactions with other kids and also trying to comfort each other. In older youth, this is that valuing that win-win solutions. There doesn't always have to be a winner and a loser, but there's that give and take where both people can win. It's also caring about what happens to others, even when you don't know the other people. And in adults, this really is that investment in our long-term relationships. This is relying on our social support system, identifying who those go-to people in our lives are, and relying on them. So another core concept, probably my favorite, is the problem solving and coping skills. This really is our ability to seek out help when we need it. Can we self-regulate? Do we learn from our past, the good, the bad, and the ugly? We know that we do better when we collaborate to solve problems. So what does that look like in little guys? So in little guys, it really starts with that ability to self-soothe. Can they calm themselves down? And then the other one is, can they ask for help when they get stuck, or do they just give up? In our older youth, this is more like self-management skills, seeking expertise or advice from other people who have experienced something that you're going through. And in adults, this can look like using that trial and error to generate success. I tried it, it didn't work, I'm going to try something else. Hopefully that will work, but if it doesn't, I'm going to keep trying. Another core concept is that hope and optimism for the future. This really is that belief that things can get better. It's also being creative, wanting to learn, wanting to explore your environment around you, having a sense of humor. You don't really think of that as a core concept of resilience. That's actually a very, very important one, and we start to see that at a very, very young age. And then finding joy in things. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the finding joy in things when we do a little self-care. So in younger kids, this can be showing an interest in your surroundings, being curious. And little guys really like to share jokes with their friends. And that's really developing that sense of humor. The jokes aren't always good, but that's okay. They really are developing that core concept of hope and optimism. In youth and young adults, this can be the ability to laugh at oneself. This is a hard skill to learn because that's not always something we think of older teens and early 20s really having that ability to do. We tend to think of them, oh, we're so serious about ourselves. But we do see a lot of kids that really can laugh at themselves, and they find it very funny. It's also being future-oriented and having those positive outlets when they're stressed. So things like talking to friends, talking to family members, exercise, those are all really healthy outlets for stress. And in adults, this can look like that expectation that hard work will pay off. Then we have the ability to reframe stress. So we all have a lot of stress right now. And before we go too much into this one, I do want to talk a little bit about the different kinds of stress. So we have eustress, which is actually good stress. This is stress that helps us work at our optimal level. If you think back to when you were taking tests in high school or middle school or college, this is where you really just buckled down and you did it. It didn't cause too much anxiety. It caused a little anxiety. And then we have tolerable stress. So one of the things that's important is to understand we can manage stress when we have these important relationships in our lives, these supportive relationships, and we'll talk about this more and more. But this we already know, research has shown us, the most important predictor of resilience is that supportive relationship in one's life. Where it gets to toxic stress is where you just don't have that supportive relationship, and these are prolonged periods of stress, things like dealing with child abuse or violence in the community, substance use or mental illness of a caretaker or guardian. Those can be really, really stressful things. But we know if you have that supportive relationship in your life, whether it's a teacher, a coach, a family friend, a parent, you have a much reduced risk of getting into that toxic stress level. And stress really can have some very, very negative impact on your health. We're talking about things like high blood pressure, heart disease. You can have excessive sweating or inability to sleep, not eating. Those are all things that just aren't healthy. So our ability to reframe stress, which is one of our core concepts. So this can be things like tolerating frustration. We're not going to get rid of frustration. We know that. We'd love to, but we won't. Being flexible and adapting to change as they happen. It's that sort of rolling with the punches. Using positive self-talk. Simple phrases like, you got this, you can do this, or just keep going. Those are things you can repeat to yourself to get through that hump. So what does this look like in little guys? We don't really think about little guys trying to reframe stress, but even young kids have stress. So this is that staying calm when you're upset. It's the starting to understand that there are expectations of behavior, and those expectations can depend on the social situation you're in. You may have different behaviors when you're in school than when you're at home, or that when you're with your friends, or even at a friend's house. So in our young adults, this is that ability to accept that ambiguity. You begin to connect your attitude with your behavior. You start to put things in perspective. You can look at things like, okay, how big of a deal is this? In young adults, this looks like that ability to really understand that change is going to happen in life. As much as we don't like it, it is going to happen. We start to learn to roll with the punches, but we also start to see that there can be growth out of that change or adversity. Then we have seeking meaning and purpose, and this goes a little bit into self-care. This goes into our values, kind of what keeps us moving forward. So in young kids, we really look at this as, do they want to be around their friends? Do they experience joy? Are they curious about things, how the world works? In our young adults, this is that sense of belonging to a larger community. So that could be a faith community, it could be Boy Scouts, it could be things like a friendship group, a sports team. And in our adults, this can be wanting to engage in a community effort or cause, that sense of doing things for others. And your life satisfaction actually starts to get more connected to your values there. So these core concepts really help us navigate the ups and downs in life. So how do we foster this resilience? Kind of know what it is and what the core concepts are, whether it's the capital resilience with a capital R or the lowercase resilience with a little r. So an important thing to remember is these are skills that can be developed and enhanced throughout your life. Where you start as a little one isn't where you end up when you're in your 80s and 90s. You learn through that whole aging process. So if we think about starting to build on our strengths, how do we kind of identify those strengths in ourselves, in each other? So one of my favorites is actually something called identifying signature strengths. And this is, what are your kind of core strengths that define who you are? So it can be anything like curiosity, kindness, persistence, anything that's kind of unique to your personality. And these are the strengths that are most likely to describe who we are as people. They're very closely connected to our core values. These are strengths that are really used a lot. Because we use them so much, we don't always see them as strengths. We just see them as sort of part of who we are. But if we start to identify them as strengths, we can actually build on those strengths and build that resilience. So these are going to be the things that keep you energized, keep you engaged, and make you feel fulfilled. So how do you actually do that? That seems all very fluffy language. Okay, so think about a time when you were really at your best. You felt good, you were the most engaged, you felt the most alive. When you think about that, think about what happened. Think about what strengths did you use? Think about how did you use those strengths to benefit yourself and to benefit others? And then how could you use those strengths in the future? Whether it's in the same situation, or can you adapt that into other situations? So those are your signature strengths. We also have something, putting on your strength glasses. So these kinds of exercise, they're so easy to do. Think about the strengths that you have on any given day, what you did that day that were strengths-based. As you get used to doing this, you can actually identify one single strength for that day and just say, I'm going to focus on my persistence today. Well, I got out of bed. Well, that's pretty good. And you go through the day and you add up all your strengths. You look at all the things you did well that was focused on that one strength. The more you do this, the more you can have those thoughts be more natural. They really become second nature. But it's something that takes practice. A lot of times as clinicians, we tell people, well, just try this a couple of times. But on average, it takes about 66 times of trying something to really be comfortable with it. Typically when we try something, it's 2 or 3 times and it's, well, it didn't work. Well, no, it's not going to work. It's not going to feel comfortable. The behaviors start to change the more comfortable you get with them. And that unfortunately takes practice. The other one that's kind of fun is the trying to shift your perspective. So yes, right now it seems like everything is just very, very negative. But during the day, try to reflect on what those silver linings are. Whether it's, looking at what you're grateful for during the day. If you're home, is it spending time with your family? Is it you still have a job? Is it you're not stuck in traffic? I have to drive down 97 and I'm thrilled there's no traffic in the morning. Finding these new positives every day can help shift that perspective. So as you're going through the day, start thinking about what your silver linings are. And think about what in your life gives you that sense of meaning and purpose. This is sort of what makes you really happy, what keeps you going, and then also what gives you that sense of balance in your life. Yes, we all have stress, but what's the other side to that? What's the side that keeps you calm, that keeps you centered? We need to spend more time doing things that bring us joy. Typically, we spend a lot of time doing things that stress us out. And then we just add to our stress by doing more things that stress us out. And sometimes we just have to take a break. We have to step back. We have to do something that makes us happy, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's baking. I have a colleague who loves to bake. We love to eat. That works out well for us. But this also enhances your life satisfaction. It's that work hard, play hard. And then finally, in that same vein is, are you practicing self-care? That's self-care you've got to be doing every day, whether it's taking a 10-minute little mini break to go for a walk outside. We're lucky, it's still 80 degrees in October. Connecting with old friends, calling people you haven't talked to in a long time, reading a book, doing things that just get everything else out of your mind. These are skills that get better with practice. The more we practice, the more natural it becomes. This certainly doesn't mean we won't ever face adversity again, because we will. But it gives us those skills to be equipped and adapt and to bounce back from that adversity. So make sure you're practicing your self-care skills every day, and check on your friends, make sure they're doing it too. And I really look forward to seeing everybody next year.
Several years ago, my wife and I attended the NAMI Anne Arundel County Family to Family program. The Family to Family program is a 12-week, comprehensive, yet free class that's given to families who have individuals in it suffering from mental illness and helps them deal with that. The program is focused on diagnostics, medications, community resources, and legal issues around mental health issues.
Most importantly, we found ourselves among people who, rather than judging us, supported us and our family through this event. Your donations to NAMI AAC will help to continue such important programs as the Family to Family Support Program. Thank you.
And now we have asked some of our friends to send in testimonials telling us what being part of our support groups and our classes have meant to them. So for our first Shining Star Award of the evening, we are going to be presenting the Rhonda Dickinson Mack Award for Excellence to Kimberly Vaughn. Kimberly Vaughn is the Crisis Response Phone Counselor Supervisor for Anne Arundel County Mental Health Agency, Crisis Response System, where she manages the daily activities of the Warm Line. She provides leadership, management, and guidance to ensure that the Operations Center consistently meets its goals. She has been working to meet the needs of individuals with mental health diagnosis since 2009. As the Crisis Response Phone Counselor Supervisor, she is responsible for ensuring that client needs are identified and through ongoing communications with partners such as police, jails, hospitals, determining the appropriate follow-up actions. With the growing numbers of individuals in Anne Arundel County experiencing a mental health crisis due to the effects of the COVID pandemic, the volume of calls to the Warm Line have increased dramatically, and it is expected to continue to rise with school back in session. Kim Vaughn has been a pillar of strength and has consistently gone above and beyond the call of duty to meet the challenge of the increased workload, while keeping a watchful eye on her staff for any signs of burnout. Kim is passionate about her work and is the backbone of the Operations Center. She demonstrates this daily through her compassion for the clients she serves, her determination to ensure their safety, and her boundless energy, oftentimes working countless hours to support her staff and ensure that the needs of the individuals calling the Warm Line are being met. Kind and compassionate, Kim is the essence of Anne Arundel County's Crisis Response Systems hero. And so, Kim, we present to you the Rhonda Dickinson Max Award for Excellence.
Thank you very much for this award. I really appreciate it, and I want to thank all my other colleagues and coworkers because it truly takes a team effort. We love what we do, and we can't be more proud to serve Anne Arundel County. Thank you.
Our second Shining Star Award is called the Zach Roeder Award. This award goes tonight to Patrick Finn. Patrick is one of our facilitators for the NAMI Connections Support Group. He is an outgoing individual who has traveled to many different countries throughout the world. He has a big heart for people. He's living with bipolar 1 and PTSD. Though his mental illness has hindered him in many ways throughout his life, he uses the help and support he has found with NAMI to channel his passion for helping others still trapped in darkness.
Thank you so very much for this prestigious award. It is an absolute honor to receive this just for doing the things that I love, helping those that are trapped in mental darkness and showing them the beautiful truth of tomorrow. I was trapped in such a darkness, and I am truly blessed to have received the help that I needed. There are still so many of those that don't know that hope. Now, just receiving this, I'd definitely like to thank my two fellow facilitators, Chris Acosta and Heather Martinko. I could not even imagine being here without them, as my family, who have supported me so very much throughout all of the trials that I've been through. And most of all, I want to thank NAMI Anne Arundel County for giving this opportunity to give back and to receive the help that I've gotten. Thank you.
Hello. Our third Shining Star Award this evening, the Bo DiPaolo Shining Star Award, is going to Chris Acosta, one of our facilitators from the Connections Group. Chris Acosta is married with 2 children. Chris finds the value of helping others as a way to teach his children that you can live with mental illness and still be a positive member of society. Chris lives with depression and generalized anxiety, and he also has anxiety and panic attacks at times. Chris has been a part of the Anne Arundel Connections Group and is now a facilitator. He is also trained to be the facilitator for Anne Arundel County's peer-to-peer class. Chris is very active in fundraising for NAMI during the NAMI walks. And during the coronavirus pandemic, Chris and his fellow facilitators of the Connections Group have been sending out emails and creating supportive videos for the group's members as a weekly check-in, in addition to facilitating the Connections meetings on Zoom. Chris is also a public school teacher and shares some of his experiences to help educate others about mental illness. Chris is known to say, "Be yourself and know you are never alone."
Thank you. I really, truly appreciate this award, and I'm humbled and blessed. I do want to thank a few people, starting with my support group, The Connections, with Mike, Beck, Kathleen, Kyle, Danielle, and Christina. Thank you. I also want to give a big shout out and a huge thank you to NAMI Anne Arundel County, with all your support that you've given me and to hundreds of others and thousands of others. Thank you so much. I also want to thank a few friends and family. Angel, you helped me find NAMI, and I appreciate you, and you've helped me start my journey to recovery and to success. To Ben, you're an inspiration to me. You have taught me about being brave and being yourself. You've never given up, and that's one motto that I always and will live with. And thank you, Ben, for that. I also want to thank my facilitating team from Arnold Connections, Patrick Finn and Heather Martinko. You are a guiding light every day, whether we're reaching out in text messages or phone calls or emails. You have taught me to believe in me and not doubt myself. And that goes a long way, not for me as well, but for all of you. I also want to thank my wife. You have been very helpful when I'm at NAMI, doing whether it's a fundraiser, a walk, or facilitating. Thank you so much for all your support and watching our kids, which that too brings me to my children. You are the biggest inspiration in my life, and you mean so much to me, and I want to thank you for always being there, your smiles, your laughs, your jokes, but most importantly, somehow knowing when I need a hug, you give it, and I don't ask, and that takes a lot of the weight off of my shoulders. So this award is very important to me, but it also shows that we can be successful in life, and I appreciate all of you, and I want you all to know, believe in yourself, believe in who you are and what you can do, and that you're not alone. I appreciate that, and thank you. Always remember, ride the 6, and you'll have a smile on your face.
Good evening. In addition to the 3 special shining awards we give each year, we have a special achievement award that we give someone that has given us so much above and beyond all the work and diligent work over all the years, many years of the work that they've done for mental illness. Tonight we are going to give that award to Adrienne Michler. She is the Executive Director of the Anne Arundel County Mental Health Agency, where she provides overall leadership, management, and guidance by devising and implementing strategies and policies to ensure that the agency meets its goals. She has been working in a leadership position and capacity in the mental health field for over 25 years. She has a master's degree in administration with a concentration in healthcare administration. She also has a Bachelor of Science degree in medical technology. She earned a certificate of financial accounting also from Anne Arundel Community College. And she has published many publications and written technical reports, staff studies, and procedural manuals. Since taking the helm of the Director of Anne Arundel County Mental Health Agency, the Crisis Response System was developed in 1999 and then taken in-house in 2013, starting with a warm line for individuals who are experiencing emergencies. The mobile team followed in 2014 so that the Anne Arundel Mental Health Association social workers, in tandem with the Anne Arundel County and Annapolis Police Force, could visit the homes of those in crisis and provide them with support. With a growing amount of emergencies in the county intervention team was established in 2015 to serve public in crisis situations, including those who are survivors of fires, car and boat accidents, and those involved with active assailants. The team are experts in crisis intervention, stress management, and follow up with their clients as long as they need support. Ms. Michler has spearheaded training sessions open to the public on everything from mental health first aid to active assailant community training. She didn't miss a beat when she was challenged by the current COVID pandemic and social unrest issues. With her usual calm and steadfast manner, she has also led the agency in meeting with an increase in demands and provided continuous support to the citizens of Anne Arundel County. In short, Adrienne Michler of the Anne Arundel County Mental Health Agency has been a champion of the residents of this county, continues to do so. And then from Anne Arundel County, NAMI, we want to thank her so much for the partnership we have with that group and how much she has helped us and all of her colleagues in her office. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. It is truly a great honor to receive an Achievement Award from NAMI of Anne Arundel County. It's really a remarkable organization. The great work you do on behalf of individuals with mental illness and their families is an incredibly valuable contribution to our community, and you all make such an amazing difference. As you well know, NAMI is our county's largest grassroots organization dedicated to building better lives for individuals affected by mental illness. At least 1 in 4 adults and 1 in 10 children are impacted by mental illness. That's almost 125,000 Anne Arundel County residents. Your membership understands that individuals and families impacted by mental illness often struggle to get the care they need, especially when the illness first arises. But you also understand that the journey doesn't end there. Often when treatment and other support is not effective or sufficient, you need to be the voice. Your advocacy for funding, services, research, treatment, and other support helps to tell the story of the many challenges faced by individuals affected by mental illness. But you also tell the story of hope. Your members help people understand what success looks like when people move toward recovery. People can and do recover. The programs you provide directly are awesome. NAMI's Family to Family for caregivers of individuals with mental illness. NAMI Family Support Groups for family members and others involved with individuals with mental illness. NAMI Basics, your education program for parents and caregivers of children and adolescents who develop symptoms prior to age 13. NAMI Peer-to-Peer, taught by trained mentors who are living well with mental illness. NAMI Connection, a peer-to-peer support group. NAMI in our own voice that educates the community, providers, and others through stories from individuals with lived experience. These are just some of the many programs you provide, and I believe that all of these provide deep and lasting support to the mental health community. They truly make a difference. You make a difference. It is my honor to accept this award from your organization. I truly thank you.
So we are John and Jill DePaula. We are founders of Bo's Effort, a nonprofit started in honor of our son Bo to help raise awareness of mental illness and break the stigma surrounding the illness. We do fundraisers around the clock. We have a board of directors that helps out. We have a golf tournament every year and a lot of support around that. And we use the proceeds to help the efforts of NAMI Anne Arundel County and the Anne Arundel Medical Center. And we also do scholarships in Bo's name, and that goes to students that are have committed to working and studying in the area of mental illness. So we're doing everything we can for that foundation and for that cause.
Fred and Donna, Bo's Effort and the Board of Directors would like to present NAMI AAC this check for $25,000 to help support your family-to-family classes, peer-to-peer classes, and all the other great works that you guys are doing.
We thank you so much. This is really great. On behalf of myself as Executive Director and Dawn as our Board President, and on behalf of all those that are working in NAMI, all the volunteers and all the people on our board, we thank you so much. This is going to go to great efforts to fulfill our mission and keep going and working with the people with mental illness and all their families. We can't thank you enough. Your support is tremendous.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Judy Davidson. I'm a family support group facilitator here in Anne Arundel County. When a friend or family member has a mental illness, its impact ripples out to everyone in their circle. In the beginning, it is a shock. Things are chaotic and unnerving. No one is ready when it happens. The Family Support Group is a safe space where individuals who are on this journey can share their stories, feel compassion from those in a similar struggle, and share strategies for supporting their loved one and taking care of themselves. Some of the most comforting words in the universe are, "Me too." These are powerful words. At that moment, you find out that your struggle is also someone else's struggle, that you are not alone, and that others have been down the same road. Please donate to NAMI Anne Arundel to keep our programs going. Every contribution, no matter the size, helps. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.
We hope that you've enjoyed this evening's virtual gala with the Healthy Moments and Awards Night. We want to thank all of you that have contributed to tonight's program. I especially would like to thank our NAMI Anne Arundel County Virtual Gala Committee for their hard work and to our Board of Directors for their continued support. And a special thank you to our speaker for her wonderful resilience presentation. Lastly, thank you to all of those that are attending and sending in donations tonight or in the next few days for our raffle in support of us. You've heard and seen a lot of information tonight. Remember, this link will be up for 2 more weeks, and you can go back to it any time or pass it along to other friends, families, and coworkers to view. Please continue your support for NAMI Anne Arundel County, and contact us at our website or helpline at any time for more information or assistance. Remember, we are there for you, and you are not alone.